Hello, welcome to this strength routine number 3 exercise tutorial. Over the next few minutes, I'm going to talk you through the 6 exercises that make up this new routine. Now, of course, when you've watched this routine, if you have any questions on any of the exercises, if anything is unclear, please do ask me before you complete this for the first time, because I want to make sure that you are doing every single rep to the best of your ability, making sure you're getting the maximum benefit from each repetition and, of course, reducing your risk of injury. Now, this routine is going to last for the next 4 weeks. Week 1 will be completing 30 seconds of exercise, 30 seconds of rest. Week 2 and week 3 will be completing 40 seconds of exercise, 20 seconds of rest. And week 4, the most challenging week of all, will be 45 seconds of exercise and just 15 seconds of rest. We're going to utilise the same principles we have done for our previous routines, which is we'll be moving into position, we'll be holding the repetition for 3 seconds and then pushing back to the start. So each repetition is going to take around about 5 seconds to complete, which means we'll be completing around about 6 repetitions for week 1, around about 8 repetitions for week 2 and week 3, and between 9 and 10 repetitions at week 4. So the last thing to say before I get on with demonstrating these is you are going to need your resistance bands for this routine. You may find the first couple of times of completing the repetitions, you'll have to make finer adjustments to either your hand positioning on the band or in fact the resistance band you're using. And finally, before I get on with this, I just want to mention it is worth just quickly now just checking each band for any wear or tear, because the last thing you want is to be midway through a repetition and one of these bands breaks. That's not going to have a happy ending. Now, our first exercise is the chest fly exercise. This is designed to work the upper body, to be working the upper abdominals, the chest, the shoulders, the fronts and backs of the arms and the forearms. Now, this is going to be taking part on the floor. Before I get down there, I'll just demonstrate what it looks like at this angle for you. So we're going to be laying on the floor, our feet are going to be on the floor with our knees in the air. I can't obviously demonstrate this standing up. We're going to be holding the band. Now, you'll notice that I'm not holding the ends, I'm going to be holding it part way through. And again, you're going to have to find the right position for you. My hands are in line with my shoulders, not my throat or my head. I've got soft elbows, so I'm not looking out my elbows, I've got soft elbows, and what will be happening is when we complete this exercise, we're going to be working through the shoulders, opening nice and wide. So the band is going to come down sort of top of the chest region. This is where we're then going to be holding for that 3-second count before we then come back up. It's all happening through the shoulders. So let me head onto the floor and demonstrate this for you. Let me drop the band first. So we're laying on the floor, feet are on the floor, knees are in the air. This just allows us to focus on engaging the abdominals. We then, you'll find the best grip that suits you. You either want your thumbs pointing towards another, or your thumbs pointing up towards the ceiling, above your head, above the ceiling if you're standing up. And we open up nice and wide, so working through the shoulders, band comes towards the chest, we hold it there for that count of 3, and then back up. We come down, hands and shoulders stay roughly aligned, 3-second counts, and then back up. Remember, when we're lowering and raising, it's a controlled manner, okay? So it should take around about 1 second to get into place for that 3-second count, and then a second back up. That's the first exercise. The next exercise we're staying on the floor for, we can just sit ourselves up. We're going to be doing what's called the seated row. This is where we're going to have our legs out in front of us. The band is going to go round the feet. Now, I suggest the band doesn't go on your toes. I suggest the band goes towards the heels or the arch of your foot. You want the band roughly equal on each side, but again, you may find that you're not actually holding the handlebars, you're actually holding midway down on the band. You'll soon find the best position for you. Now, we're not hunching forward, we're sitting nice and upright, so nice postural position. So head up, shoulders back, engaging the abdominals, all right? I know this is an action business. We're going to be doing what we call the seated row. Now, our thumbs are going to be pointing up towards the ceiling. And we're going to be putting the hands back towards the body. We're keeping our elbows tucked in. So it's a big shoulder blade squeeze. We're squeezing those shoulder blades back together. Our 3-second count is here before we then come forwards. So control manner, putting in, big squeeze with the shoulder blades, 3-second count there, and then forwards. You may find that you do need to adjust your hand position. That's fine. You'll find the good position for you. That is the second exercise. The third exercise, we're moving to the abdominals. We're going to do what's called the reverse crunch. There are 2 variations of this. Okay, I'm going to start off with the basic movement and then I'll move on to the advanced movement. This is about picking the one which is most challenging but achievable for you. Okay, so with this we're going to be laying down on the floor again on our back. We're keeping the abdominals tied, pulled in. So think about squeezing them in, get them working for you. Our legs are in the air. Okay, soft knees, we're not fully straight, soft knees. And you'll notice that my feet are sort of just behind my bum and my legs aren't down there. Okay, so legs up, pointing up, heels pointing up towards the ceiling. So the first variation here is rocking the legs in. Okay, so here's the first, the slightly more basic beginner's exercise. Notice that when my legs go down, I'm not letting them drop down too far. All right, so I'm working through the hips, toes sort of coming towards my head as it were. You'll notice there's no holding time for this one, it's just a controlled, continuous movement. Now if you find that that's not changing enough, you want to advance this exercise slightly, legs are going to go back up in the air, so the starting point is the same. But what we're doing this time is we're trying to lift our bum up off the floor and get our feet towards the ceiling. So it looks something like this. You're trying to get some momentum, pushing up towards the ceiling and back down. Again, there's no hold for this, but please notice that I'm not letting my legs drop down too far. I'm trying to use momentum, use my abdominals to push straight up. Now, exercise 4 and 5 are the same exercise. We're moving to the lower body now. So we're going to be working the fronts and backs of the legs, the buttocks, the lower abdominals, the calf muscles. We're going to be doing the reverse lunge. Now you'll find the first couple of times you try this will be a bit challenging. You've got to get your head around it. With this, feet are starting together. All right, abdominals tucked in, head up, shoulders back. We're going to be stepping backwards down into the lunge. All right, so we're going to step backwards, down into the lunge. We're going to hold it there for that 3-second count and then come forwards. Nice big step as we go back, hold it down there for that 3-second count and push forwards. You'll find as you start stepping backwards, it will become more of a fluid movement. It's not sort of back, down, up. As you start going back, the front leg, the front foot will start bending as well. Obviously for exercise, that was the right leg. For exercise 5, you'll be moving the left leg. So you're still only moving one leg at a time. Final exercise, we're going to move back to the abdominals. We're going to be doing what's called the heel touch exercise. I'll stand up and demonstrate before I head down onto the floor for you. So just like the chest fly, you're going to be laying on your back, feet on the floor, so knees are up in the air. We're going to have our palms facing the floor, thumbs pointing towards the body. You'll find when I do this, my head and shoulders are just slightly off the floor, all right? And with this, the aim is you're going to be twisting down from side to side. Try and touch your heels with your fingers. Let me head onto the floor for you. So down to the floor. So I just have my head and shoulders just up off the floor a little bit, all right? And I'm going side, trying to touch my heels. Now if you find initially that's quite easy, 2 options. Take your feet slightly further away. Or you can start taking your hands to the outside of the feet. But again, we're trying to have the biggest range of movement possible. There's no timing for this one. So just continual movement for the time period. They are the 6 exercises that make up this strength routine number 3. Like I said, any questions, please do ask. Otherwise, until we next speak, take care. Bye-bye.